Alright YouTube, for this vlog I am finally reviving a style of videos that I have been unfortunately shying away from. I'll be doing my Star Wars Starfighter characters pitch movie arc for the upcoming Star Wars Starfighter movie next year, directed by Sean Levy. So the inspiration for today's video comes from a forum where the user features about 20 actors who they would think would be great fits for the Sean Levy Star Wars Starfighter universe. Now, at least for now, we have seemingly the vast majority of the cast for the upcoming 2027 movie. However, I would not be surprised if we get more movies and sequels from this movie, as well as literature and, series. The point is, I would not be surprised if this is a big hit and goes far. Now, I have made a couple vlogs talking about said movie, so I'm not going to go into too much depth about the current movie coming out next year, but once the trailer comes out, I am very excited and I will be sure to do a review of that as well. Now, let's dive in. Starting with the first person on this list, none other than the DCU Superman, David Cornsett himself. And I really admire the guy for expressing interest in being a Star Wars X-Wing Starfighter pilot for the Star Wars series, and I do agree with one of the comments in this forum that says he sort of gives Han Solo vibes, so it could be a fascinating combo to see a Solo meets X-Wing pilot character, and he would be great for it. Now, I do want to give a disclaimer that some and a decent amount of the people featured on this forum, I am not very familiar with them nor their work. However, I am more than happy to discover these people and their works through Star Wars Starfighter because, I'm more than happy for that to happen. Next up, and my personal favorite on this forum, is Sebastian Stan. And so it's not technically 100% confirmed, it's pretty likely that his character for Marvel will be the point is he'll be on his way out for Marvel. As we all know, he's going to portray Two-Face in the Batman Part 2, which I think is really cool. But circling back, the guy looks just like Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, the original trilogy. With his range, I could see him playing almost any character from like a Jedi to pilot to Sith to even droid, but I think if we do get him in the Star Wars universe, that we got to utilize him well. So for number 3, we have Taron Egerton, who I remember being pretty popular in a while, but I haven't seen a lot of him from like 5 or 6 years. However, I did not too long ago see one of his movies called She Rides Shotgun, which in the movie Taron portrays like an ex-convict who is on the run from his former enemies, and all while protecting his daughter while trying to make things right, which if you ask me is a very good fit for a Star Wars character. But I will say if we do have him, I would want him to sort of be a little more alien human-like as opposed to just his normal human self, because I think that way would break that typecast. So like I said, I'm not familiar with all these actors and actresses. However, I do kind of get the Star Wars Starfighter vibes just by looking at these pictures, and like I said, I'm more than happy to discover new faces through Star Wars. So for number 5, we have Florence Pugh and Robert Pattinson, both of which are going to appear in Dune Part 3, so I will imagine that we don't know what's going to happen with the Dune franchise from there, but I wouldn't be surprised if neither of them return for the Dune franchise should we get one. But I will say, while not my favorite 2 of the list, I do think that if we do get them in Star Wars, that it would be cool, but also that I'd want their characters to be very different from the characters they portray in the Dune series. And for number 3, we have a very well-known face, Idris Elba. I remember him appearing in the Star Trek movie from 2016, but unfortunately Star Trek 4, at least for now, is cancelled. And yes, I'm very bummed about that. Obviously, you guys know Star Wars is my favorite, but I did enjoy Star Trek a lot too. If you ask me, he's the perfect fit for a Sith-style villain in this series. And next up, we have the actor Keith David, who, while I do recognize and know his name, that I admit I have not seen any movies with him, but I do remember hearing a little bit recently some rumors that he may be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and for narration that he kind of gives me the vibes of appearing as like a narrator and experienced, seasoned character, so I think he would be a good fit for Star Wars Starfighter with that said. Next up we have James McAvoy, who, while many of his movies depict him as a psychopath such as the Split movies and Speak No Evil, I have seen him fan cast as young Obi-Wan Kenobi in a few of Star Wars fan casts, so I think this could be a win-win where they could either portray him as sort of the typical character of him being a psychotic villain, or a flashback to Obi-Wan Kenobi being Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, or we could have him as like a character similar to Obi-Wan. Either of any of these options get 2 thumbs up from me. Next up we have Michael B. Jordan. With so much range up his sleeve, I could see him portraying very many characters through Star Wars Starfighter, but I would settle on him being sort of a marksman trooper style character, so that gets my vote. And next up, one of the actors featured on this list was Jack Quaid. So we all know him as Huey from The Boys, and with The Boys recently ending, although I didn't see the finale or many of The Boys in a while actually, I can imagine the guy's looking to pick up a new franchise of work, and while it may be kind of basic, I could sort of see him playing the character of a vibe of Star Wars A New Hope's Luke Skywalker, to be this specific, that exact kind of arc that Luke had in A New Hope. And on this form we have another boy star, of course, Homelander himself, who obviously a very iconic villain, very evil, so that could work in Star Wars, but maybe it's, would be cool to see him as a different style role, but who knows, we'll see. And last but not least for this vlog, we have Ana de Armas, who has appeared in movies with Ryan Gosling, who's going to be the lead character of the Star Wars Starfighter movie confirmed, and the movie is Blade Runner 49, which I admit I have not seen, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that because I've heard nothing but great things about it, so I'm sure that whatever character Anna could portray in Star Wars would be great and gets very many votes from me. Alright, so to conclude today's vlog, this was a very fun vlog to film. I'm certainly going to give you guys a lot more similar vlogs to this one, so thank you so much for watching. Shout out Husky for the beats, and if you're wondering where this forum came from, I'll link it in the description below. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay for more soon. Goodbye.